Hello everybody, welcome back to today's discussion once again. Today we are going to discuss a simple topic, but it is important to every individual to understand what is this particular topic and how it affect our body, and what are the those factors which lead to cause some particular disturbances in our body. So today we are going to discuss about stress, stressors, and life cycle. Life cycle means the pathway or of how stress occurs in our body. Okay, so first of all, in before going to the discussion, we will discuss about what is there in the content of today's discussion. So today we are going to discuss about the introduction of stress. What are the definition of stress and stressors? What is the path flow of stress? There is a life cycle of stress, how stress are originated, the causes of the stress, type of stress and stressor, use stress and distress, and then we will go to the conclusion. So in introduction, pressure turns into stress when you feel unable to cope. People have different ways of reacting to stress. So a situation that feels stressful to one person may be in fact be motivating to another. Stress can affect how you feel, how you think, how you behave, and how your body works. Sleeping problems, sweating, loss of appetite, and difficulty in concentrating are some common signs of stress. So whenever there is a pressure, it automatically turns into stress when we don't have some sort of a coping mechanism that are going to control the pressure. If I don't have adequate or positive coping mechanism to control or to adapt to a particular pressure, that automatically stress arises within my body. So every situation is, it doesn't mean that every situation will be a stressful situation. It might be somewhat stressful to a particular individual, or it might be motivating to a particular another individual. So it stress affect that how I perceive the particular situation, how I think with related to that situation, related to the particular stimulus environment, and how I try to behave with particular situation. If I accept the particular situation, if I have a adequate or a positive adaptive behavior to the particular situation, then I won't feel any stress. But if I think that particular situation is giving harmful effects to me, or it's going to threaten my normal life cycle, regarding my physical status or my mental status or emotional status, then automatically that will cause stress in my body. So today we often use the term loosely in describing a variety of unpleasant states, feeling states. For example, we often say we are stressed out when we feel frustrated, angry, conflicted, overwhelmed, or fatigued. Despite the widespread use of this term, stress is a fairly vague concept that it is difficult to define with precision. We know that stress is some sort of words which we usually use very independently and very simply and very loosely. We feel stress whenever we are being frustrated, we are angry, something we get conflicted with my family members or with anybody, or when we are fatigued, we almost feel stress. So even though there is not a clear precision definition about stress, we know that stress is something that causes pressure to our body, and when we are not unable to cope with particular situation, stress arises, and it differs from individual to individual. So next is the definition of the stress. According to Cell 1976, stress is a process of adjusting to or dealing with circumstances that disrupt or threaten to disrupt a person's physical or psychological functioning. Stress is tension, strain, or pressure from a situation that requires us to use or adapt or develop new coping skills. So stress is a process, simply a process of adjusting or dealing with circumstances, with a particular situation, when we are trying to adjust or when we are trying to face the particular situations which is trying to disturb or which trying to create disturbances to my physical as or psychological functioning. It's called stress. For example, when I feel that this dog is going to bite me, then I feel stressed because I think that it is going to bite me, then I'll have pain upon my body, my muscle got wear and tear, I will have bleeding. All these things happen when I think that the dog is going to bite me. Automatically, if I think that way, then stress will occur. Similarly, I will feel fear, I will feel frightened, and I will feel conflict with that particular dog also, then automatically stress will arise. So stress is a kind of strain or tension or a pressure from a particular situation that is required for us that we must try to adapt, we must try to use, or we must develop new coping skills to cope up with that particular stress. So, according to Atkinson, Byrne, and Woodward, stress is a state of strain, whether it is physical or psychological. It doesn't matter only physical, it doesn't focus only on psychological. It might be both physical as a psychological at the same time, or it might be only physical or it might be psychological. But those tension or those strain which causes in our body is called the stress. Okay, we know about stress. What is stress? Stress is a particular situation where we feel threatened to our physical as well as psychological status. What is stressor? Stressor is a chemical or biological agent, environmental conditions, external stimulus, or an event seen as causing stress to an organism. Simply, stressor is that particular stimulus or that particular condition that causes stress to a particular organism. Psychologically speaking, a stressor can be events or environment. It might be an event, it might be a situation, or it might be an environment where I am staying right now. That individual might consider demanding, that I'm feeling that it's demanding some needs from me. It is quite challenging for me and I'm not able to adapt, or it is going to provide me some disturbances is going to harm me. That at that time I feel that this particular situation or this particular condition is the stressor that causes stress to me. So stressor is nothing, it's simply a external stimulus or a condition that causes stress to a particular organism. So next we'll go is the path flow of the stress. Where is path flow of the stress? That is when we experience a particular stimulus, how stress get initiated, get started within our body. So stress, first one is the stress perceived by hypothalamus. When we see a particular stimulus, environment or particular conditions, we feel that is stress. Okay, that is perceived by my hypothalamus. And after this stress is being perceived, hypothalamus secretes CRF, that is corticotrophin releasing factors, which affect the pituitary gland. And in turn, this pituitary gland release again ACTH, that is adrenocorticotrophin hormone. This ACTH again get effect upon the adrenal cortex and which produce release of corticosteroids. And this corticosteroids leads to causing of some stress effect on the body, either in the physical sign and symptom or whether in the psychological sign and symptoms. For example, when I encounter a snake in my backyard, okay, then I might feel that then my hypothalamus will start releasing CRF, then it got effect to the pituitary gland, leading to the releasing of ACTH, and this ACTH will influence the adrenal cortex to release the corticosteroids, and this releasing of the corticosteroids will cause some effect on the body, such as I will being feel sweating, palpitations, heartbeat will increase, and I might sometimes fever also, I might shout also. These are the physical symptoms. In emotional or psychological symptoms, I might feel fear, or I might feel confused, or I can't take any particular decision at that time, that whether I should run or whether I should hit that particular snake. Okay, this is a simple part flow of the stress. So next we'll go to the causes of stress. There are certain types of causes of stress and it depends upon the differences in the perception level of certain individuals. However, there is some major or common causes of stress that each and every individual will encounter through their lifestyles. So first one is the pressure. In pressure, what we have is that whenever there is a particular pressure from the environment, from my family members, from my children, from the teacher, from the working environment, then I feel somewhat pressure upon me, that and that pressure I could not cope up with that particular pressure. I feel being burden of upon my head, that oh, I have to complete this work also I, okay, I have to complete this particular thing today itself, and I have to complete this also. Then these all things will pile up upon my mind and I will feel being pressured. So this pressure, if I can have some sort of a adaptive coping mechanism that I could handle this pressure, then I won't feel any stress. Or even I feel stress, I will have low stress level. So at this time, if I don't have any adapt coping adequate coping mechanism, or I am not able to cover the particular different type of situations or that particular single situation, then I will cause it will lead to the causing of the stress. Okay. Second one is uncontrollability. That is, I am not able to control some particular situation. Uh, for example, what to say, when I encounter some sort of a particular examination and I have forgotten a particular topic and it's in the examination, then I can't control my brain. I can control my memory to remember that particular topic. At that time, I feel uncontrollable. That, oh, I don't have that particular coping mechanism. I don't think that, okay, it's okay. I will try better next time, or I will try to focus on other questions also. But I will just try to focus only that particular situation. That is called uncontrollability. And due to these factors, it may also cause stress, frustration. As I have mentioned, if I'm very frustrated, if I'm very angry, if I'm not happy with my environment, with myself also, with the family members, with my working environment, with the students, with the teachers, with the seniors, then it will lead to the stress and aggression. Automatically, if I'm being very aggressive, if I always time feel angry towards every individual, towards myself, if I don't have any satisfaction of what I'm doing, what others are doing, then automatically it will cause to stress and conflicts. It might be between the family members also, it might be between the partners also, or between the siblings, between the teacher and students, between the co-worker. Then automatically, obviously, stress will cause. So these are the five main topic points which can cause stress to a particular body. So there are certain types of stress. The main types is the acute stress, episodic stress, and chronic stress. Beside these, there are some sort of types of stress which we simply discuss very simply. That is physical stress, psychological stress, psychosocial stress, psychospiritual stress. So today in this discussion, we will mainly discuss upon the main three types of stress. That is the acute stress, episodic stress, and the chronic stress. So first one is the actual stress. That is the pressure of, I will explain in simple way. In actual stress, for example, uh, I have appeared for a civil service examination. For example, take it simply. I have appeared for civil service examination and the result is going to release by tomorrow morning 4 a.m. Then from, as I have started to know that okay, result is going to be out by tomorrow 4 a.m. Then from right now till that 4 a.m. I will be in stress that whether I could clear that exam, or whether how, in what rank I could be qualified. And if I don't qualify it, what will I will be telling, I will be telling to my family members and my friends what they might be thinking about me if I don't able to qualify that particular examination. All these sort of factors are going to cause you stress, and this is called the actual stress. This might continue for that particular individual, or this might end up at that 4 a.m. after the result is out. Okay, this is called actual stress. In episodic, when acute stress happens frequently, that is when that particular stress happens every time, repeatedly at particular moment also, that is called episodic. For example, mm, every examination, in every examination time I feel stress. That is a kind of episodic stress. Okay. In chronic stress, if that acute stress doesn't get resolved, or it doesn't get end up at that particular moment, it begins to on and it begins to increase the level. That is, stress level is increased, then I'm feeling stress more and more and stress, and it lasts for a longer periods of time, then it is called chronic stress. So we have discussed about the types of stress. Now we'll go to the types of stressor. In types of stressor, there is simple two types of stressor. And basically we can discuss in a very simple way, which cause a physical, that is our physical effect, and those which cause the emotional effect. So here we are going to discuss simply the two types of stress. So there are two broad categories of stressor. One was is first one is the physiological or physical stressors, and second one is the psychological stressor. So, in physiological stressor, which also known as the physical stressor, this is stressor that puts strain upon the body, that is very hot and cold temperature, or injury, or chronic illness, or pain. And in psychological stressor, these are certain sort of events, situations, or comments, or anything that is interpreted as a negative. That is, I interpret that particular situation, particular comments, particular event as a negative and threatening to my life. Then it is known as the psychological stressor. So next is the eustress and distress. We all know that we have some sort of stress, and we all have clearly known that stress is some sort of negative coping. There is some sort of situation that arises within an individual due to that unable to cope that particular pressure or stress. So here there is two types of stress: eustress and distress. Eustress is a type of a positive stress, and distress is a type of the negative stress. So eustress is a type of the stress that is positive, helpful, and motivating. Unlike distress, eustress motivate people to work hard, improve their performance, and reach their goals even in the face of challenges. For example, when a teacher scolds a student, the student might feel motivated. That is, the student might feel that okay, the teacher is scolding me because I have done this wrong, this thing wrong, and I'm going to correct it the next time, and I'm not going to repeat again and again, and next time I will do much better than today. This is the kind of the stress thinking that a student is thinking, and with this stress, then the students will think, have some sort of stress that the next time I must not repeat this thing. That's a stress, and this stress is kind of a positive stress which help the student or which motivate the student to not do that particular sort of negative mistake. That is called a eustress. But in this stress, it is kind of a negative kind of stress that most people associate with the feeling. Eustress is hard to find, but distress is almost found in every individual. That is physical or anxious, that I feel anxious. I feel physical as well as psychological symptoms like headache, tension, insomnia, unable to sleep properly. I have loss of appetite. I could not concentrate on particular study, particular topic. That is kind of distress, and it is a negative effect. So in eustress signs, I have mentioned over a picture, that is provide productivity, energy, help increase focus, increase motivation. It is often experienced as excitement, feels manageable, improves performance, associated with the confidence, expectation of a positive outcome. However, in distress sign, provide restless energy, decrease focus, I can't concentrate on a particular point, increase procrastination or avoidance, that I will try to avoid the situation, that I will think, okay, let me do today. I am not interested, I am not able to concentrate today. Okay, is often experienced as a fear, feels overwhelmed, impairs performance, my performance level will be deteriorated, associated with insecurity and fear of negative outcome. So this is the main difference between eustress and distress. So today, let's come to the conclusion. In conclusion, what we are going to discuss is that mm, one student is having a particular sort of stress, where the other student is having a particular sort of stress. Here, the first student is having some kind of stress. It might be acute also, it might be episodic also, it might be a chronic also. However, the student is having positive stress, then it's called a eustress. When the second boy is what he is doing is that he is also having stress regarding some sort of studying material also. However, this child might feel some negative stress, and it is called as the distress. Okay, so in summarization, today we have discussed about introduction, simple introduction of the what is stress, how it's feel perceived by every individual, definition of stress and stressor, part flow of stress, causes of stress, and type of stress and distressor, and eustress, main difference between what is eustress and distress. And we know the eustress is a positive stress, distress is a negative stress, and we'll go to the conclusion. So I hope today we have discussed the topic, very simple one and in very elaborative way. And thank you very much, and hope you have understood it much clearly. Thank you very much, and have a nice day.